Hello, 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 my beloved souls. Blessed be, blessed stay. Welcome back. I'm Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter. For those of you who don't know me, and for those of you who do, welcome back, High Vibe Tribe. Love you so much. So I'm gonna try to make this quick today. I wasn't expecting to jump on. I was actually writing, and they were like, "Hey, do a video about this." So instead of like a blog, so I guess I'll do a vlog. Um, you know, while I'm recording this video, the sun is in Virgo, and that can amplify the energies of judgment and criticism and self-doubt, right? And I know it feels like, I keep harping on this Virgo energy like I'm being hard on them, and I'm not, because I have a lot of Virgos in my life. My Nana, whose birthday will be on the 16th of September, helped to raise me. She's one of the greatest teachers I've ever had in my life. I love her so much. She's on the other side of the veil right now going hard for me. She's got, she's, listen, my Nana's over there just the fucking blessings are ridiculous right now. Like I just see them, I feel them, and I see her. Her energy's everywhere, right? Um, so it's not a Virgo thing. If you are a Virgo and you feel like I'm being hard on you guys, it's not. It's this energy though that Virgo makes us all go within and get very critical and analytical of ourselves, right? And depending on where you're at vibrationally will depend on how you respond to judgment and criticism, right? Because there are comments that could be being made to you or about you that would actually benefit you in the long run, but you may be resistant to that criticism, to that advice, to that guidance because of the messenger who is giving you the message, right? Um, and so right now it's the season of being very discerning, right? And like not so much focusing on the messenger, but focusing on the message. And is this a message that's coming to me repeatedly and something that I need to acknowledge and accept and kind of like embody, right? Like if you're having person after person after person after person tell you like, wow, you're really funny, you should just stand up. Wow, you're really funny, you should be a comedian. Wow, you're really funny, you should do, like over and over and over again. This is the universe speaking to you, right? Giving you a clue, giving you signs like, hey, that's the path that you created for yourself, right? Like we're showing you this pathway because this is what you wanted for yourself and this is your guaranteed pathway to success. We're having all these people remind you of it so that you can get back on path and you can focus on what it is you really want to do and have in your world, right? The same thing is going to come up with if you have people constantly telling you like, hey, you're being toxic. Hey, you're fucking really nasty or you're really rude. Or if you have people leaving your life, like there are going to be times in our life where people are leaving our life because they are no longer in alignment with who we are as we're growing and ascending and expanding and evolving. And there are going to be people that are leaving your life because you're not doing the inner work and yet you're sitting there pretending to do so and not being accountable for your own self and not being accountable for your own choices and awarenesses and perspectives, right? And so choices was kind of like the word of the day for you guys. It was like choices, choices. And we need to remember that like in every now moment we're making a choice, right? You're making a choice if you're gonna stand up or sit down, lay down or, like get down, fucking eat or not eat, go left or go right, pee right now or wait to pee. Like we make choices all day long, right? Most of the choices that we're consciously making, we're not even thinking about it, right? We're pretty indifferent to the stuff. But there are other choices that we make that have what we see as long-term effects, right? You'll see kind of the calamities, the catastrophes, the chaos, depending on where you're at on your path, right? So acknowledging that we're always making choices, right, in this very now moment, and then being accountable for the choices that we've made and thus how they're manifesting in our life, right? And sometimes the choice we made is to judge or to criticize or, to judge or to criticize really when we don't have a right to, right? Like everyone is on their own soul path. We don't necessarily understand the choices that another person has made because we're not seeing life through their eyes. We don't understand life through their lens. My sister and I have the same mother. Our lives are completely different. Our outlooks on life are completely different, right? When I was born to a single teenage mom. My sister was born, my mom was married, she had like a two-parent household. Granted, that didn't necessarily make for a better upbringing, later down the road because of some of the choices the adults made there. But having said that, I don't see the world the same way she does, right? She doesn't see the world same world that I do. She grew up a little bit more um financially affluent than I did. Like I grew up in poverty, 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 right? Like she had the option, she had some poverty and then she had some like stability and wealth, right? So we have a very different outlook on the world and on things, right? Um, and so we need to understand it. So when I'm talking to her and I'm giving her guidance and I'm giving her advice, yes, I do understand the family dynamic that she comes from, but I also understand that she is not me. She's not seeing things the same way I do, right? My sister's a Virgo too. Very, very fucking super critical of herself, very over analytical. Um, and so we're in this energy, this Virgo energy, which again, we have choices, right? Which can bring us to the point where we're analyzing and we're being critical and we're judging, but judgment tends to come from an energy of I know better than, I am better than, like we sit in judgment of people because it's almost like you're looking down at them and looking down at the actions and the choices that they've made, but again, not fully understanding all of the choices that they've made or all the things that have gotten them to that point, right? And so you don't get to sit in judgment and criticism of someone for their choices, whether you agree with them or not. I do not agree with a lot of shit that this world is doing. And I know the majority of the collective is off path and has not awakened and does not understand the macroscopic, picture. I get that, and so I have to sit here with patience and understanding and compassion in my heart, knowing that I'm looking at my brothers and sisters destroy their lives unnecessarily just because they don't love themselves, just because they don't understand their own value, their own deservedness, and their own worthiness, here on this planet in this moment as the soul that they are. I get that, right? And so it's like, it's a hard thing to traverse, right? Like trying to have love and compassion for a person, but also having to be very discerning and set some really strong boundaries, right? And stand in your no and stand in your power. And not feel guilty or shame for your feelings and for your emotions and for your boundaries, right? And so it gets to that point where we're like, we're criticizing ourselves, we're judging ourselves, we're being really harsh on ourselves. And that's this energy is amplified right now, this harshness, this looking at our life through a lens of, again, of judgment, of criticism. Like it's so funny. Like the Bible says, and God said, in the Bible it says, God says, your lawless deeds I shall remember no more, right? Like you did some fucked up shit yesterday, cool. We're gonna let it go. Today is a new day. Be better today. Be even better tomorrow, right? It literally, he's like, all right, you fucked up, cool. Not gonna keep bringing it up, but like, what did you learn so you can make better choices today, and we don't make the same mistakes tomorrow. Like really simple. It's like, cool, you fucked up. I got it. I love you. Cool. Do better today. I don't want to hear it again tomorrow. Now you know better. You do better, right? Simple shit. But then we sit here as fucking humans and we're like, oh no, well, I need to judge this person and that person, this person. Why? Why do you feel a need to sit in judgment and criticism of somebody else? Why do you feel a need to harshly like look at someone else's life and then have the audacity to think that you have the authority to speak on it as if you're perfect? I haven't met a fucking perfect person yet. Not one, 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 not one. I don't give a fuck how good you think your life looks. I don't care how it looks on paper. I haven't met a perfect person yet. I could pull your life apart in 5 minutes and destroy you if necessary, right? We all are growing through shit. So stop with the arrogance and the fucking I know better than everybody else. No, you don't. So many people that are sitting here in judgment and criticism. You spend so much of your time online worried about what the fuck everybody else is doing in their life and instead of handling your business, right? And we go back to this energy. It's like back to that. We're analyzing and judging and being critical of all these other energies, but at the end of the day, it all has to come back to self. Come back to you. Come back to your choices. In this present moment, why are you choosing to give a fuck about what they're doing? Because that's a choice. You're choosing not to use your energy to make your life better or to be the best version of yourself. Instead, you're choosing to focus on some external thing that's distracting you from what's really going on, which is your internal work, right? So All this inner work is happening right now. Six planets in retrograde, everything is pointing to go within, go within, go within, go within, go within, especially when it comes to things of practicality, right? Virgo, earth sign. Go within to work on your finances. Go within to work to get grounded. Go within to learn to love yourself, right? Go within to get your relationships in a more harmonious, to make your relationships more harmonious, right? Go within to speak your truth and to stand in your boundaries and to no longer betray yourself, right? There's that energy too of like we're betraying ourselves. We're not. There's a difference between speaking your truth and standing your ground and being a dick, right? There's a difference between like standing in your power and standing in your no and standing in your yes and knowing that everybody is not going to be okay with the fact that you've just empowered yourself and being a condescending asshole. Like those are two different conversations. If you're in the manner where you think you need to talk down to people, be a condescending asshole, like you're doing them a favor and that you're so much better than them, life is about to fucking spank you. Life is gonna spank you and you're gonna get slapped in the face more times than you realize for being fucking nasty because that's the energy that you're putting out, whether you're doing that to others or whether you're doing that to yourself, because we can be our harshest critics. There's no one in this world that could say some worse shit to me that I've ever said to myself. I promise you, if anyone's going to insult me and actually do so to a point of damage, it will be me because I have to live with myself every day. I know everything about me. Nobody else knows that, right? No other physical human being knows as much about me as I do, right? So the conversations we have with ourselves as well need to be checked. Why am I judging myself? Why am I criticizing myself? Why am I over analyzing the situation? Right? I made a mistake. Okay, that doesn't define who I am character wise. Right? I was talking to my girlfriend about Chris Brown, right? And it annoys me that every time this boy is about to do something, pretty big or dope or big, all of a sudden all these like stories come out about him, right? And I don't follow pop culture like that. Like I don't care about celebrity news. I told you I have a lot of celebrity clients. I don't give a fuck about their job, but I do hear conversations and other people keep bringing it to my awareness because there are people that I know that care, they follow music. They know everything about this celebrity's life and they know way more about what's going on out there than they do in their own home, but whatever. Um, but it boggles my mind that they keep bringing up this incident with like Rihanna, right? And I'm not dismissing the physical aspect of it. I'm not with domestic violence in any way, shape, or form, but I'm not with it if the female starts or if the male starts, right? Rihanna, and I'm not saying she did or not, love that bitch. I think she's super sexy, glad that she's with a Harlem nigga. Definitely a big fan. If I was into chicks, I would try to bang her out all day. But she's also an island chick. She also spicy. She also has a temper. She also grew up around domestic violence. It would not surprise me if she popped off first and then he got tired. Niggas get tired of getting beat on. And at some point, they defend themselves. They do. I grew up around a lot of violence, y'all. Y'all know that. So it's not always just the guy just wilding out and just smacking the bitch. It goes both ways. That's why I'm not with domestic violence at any point. If I feel like I need to hit you, I will walk out the house and go take a walk and calm down and get some breaths. Because if it gets to the point of violence, then there's no more conversation. Because if I'm physically disrespecting you in our relationship, then that's no longer love. I should never get to the point where I need to hit my partner. That's not love. That's not love. It's not. I don't care how you try to switch the story or make it sound good today. It's not. So anyway, so just looking at his story and how every time, he gets close to accomplishing something else, they bring up this old energy. And it boggles my mind. Not so much that, that they bring it up because people love to bring up your past, especially if they see that you have a beautiful future, but the fact that we have so many rapists and murderers out there living their best life in movies, on TV, creating all this new work, and they don't get the same slander, right? They don't hardly get the same slander, but this one guy. And Chris is very multidimensional. He's very high vibrational. He's a star seed and he's starting to tap into the energy. There's a lot of light codes in his music and the things that he's doing in his performances. So there's a push to keep that kind of energy down on this planet. And I get that. But it's again the judgment and the criticism and the overanalyzing. It's like, why are we still judging and criticizing this guy from stuff 10 years before? And then you start digging into the history of the people that are so on it, that are standing in their self-righteousness about these stories. And you're saying, Oh, they did that and way worse. You know what I mean? So it's just like before we're so quick to sit here and judge and criticize another person's path, you don't know their history, you don't know the full story, you don't even know what they're growing through right now, or if these are part of their spiritual lessons. A lot of you are being faced right now with like choices and decisions from the spiritual lessons that you decided that you wanted to incarnate with. So no, you don't get to take a shortcut on this path because this is the path that you chose. And I know that that can seem like a really harsh and fucked up reality sometimes, but it is what it is. One of the things that I came to fix in my family was poverty and lack. And so you have to experience it and grow through it and get all fucked up with it in order to heal it, transmute it, and to come out on the other side of it. How am I going to heal a poverty story if I don't understand poverty? Right? How am I going to heal the story of lack and abuse and violence if I don't understand what that comes from? Right? I have much more of a resonance with people, or I should say, people resonate with me more who have been abused, who have lived in poverty, who have had lack, who have grew up in single parent households, who might have been sex workers, who might have been sexually assaulted, who, you know, are trying to figure out themselves as a multidimensional being, who feel separate from the church, who don't understand. Like, there's people that resonate with me because of the fucked up history that I have. You know what I'm saying? And good, bad, or indifferent, I would never change anything. I would never change anything. I'm so grateful for every single thing that I grew through on this path because it's made me a better person, because it helped me bring my kids, because I'm allowed to sit here and do this work. If I didn't do this work, my ministry would be fucking nothing. You're talking about twiddling my motherfucking thumbs. Nobody wants to hear that. You know what I mean? My understanding and my connection with the divine and the teachings and the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding that's coming through to me is a much different resonance now that I've lived through so many of these challenges, right? Walk this path with Christ, embodying my own Christ light. Like, had to grow through some shit. I'm still growing through some stuff. I'm not done, you know? And when we're healing, when we're growing, when we're manifesting, right, we get to see stuff all the way at the bottom and then we get to come all the way to the top, right? And you're building your strength, you're getting your muscles, right? You're training those lungs, your body to, you know, ascend up that mountain. And you're up at the top of the mountain and you're a much different person than the one that who started that journey. And now the second part of the journey is the descent, right? Now we're coming down. Now things look a little bit different. Now we feel different about ourselves because we've just grown through and gone through so much work to get to the top. You understand? It's always we're always going to keep going. There's always a new part of the path. And at every moment you're going to make a choice. Are you going to descend off the mountaintop right now or are you going to chill out and enjoy the view because you just worked really hard to get there? Can't stay there forever, but you get to stay there for a little while, right? And enjoy the view and then move on and then next and then next and then next. So we're constantly making choices. And we're moving into harvest season, and there's a lot of your goals and your dreams and your manifestations that many of you planted, especially during the last eclipse season. Those seeds that you planted are starting to take root or starting to sprout. You guys are going to start to see them, right? And so good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to start to see the things that you planted, right? For some of you, that's going to be great. For some of you, not so much because the seeds in your mind were a little low vibrational, and it's just something that you get to clean up now, right? You get to see the manifestations. You're like, huh, let me do better next time, right? You get to clean it up. No big deal. But as you're moving forward, as you're getting closer to these things, and I need you to really just tap in, pay attention right now. Like, I need you to really tap in, pay attention as you're getting closer to having your goals, dreams, and wishes fulfilled, you're going to see signs that it is manifesting, and you're going to get challenges that are going to see if this is what you really about. Are you about it, or were you just talking about it? So you're going to see signs that this thing is coming to fruition. You're going to see signs, synchronicities. You know, we talked about Columbus, right? When he got close to land, when he was just on all his journeys, he would always know when he was getting close to land, when he started seeing birds and he would see twigs and branches in the water, right? Signs of um, land were there. So for some of you, that's the season you're in right now. You're seeing your twigs, you're seeing your branches, you're hearing the birds, you're getting fucking excited. Land is getting close. Do not give up or be discouraged when your boat lands on just a little sandbar and it's not actually a physical island yet, right? Or a country. I'll say this again. Do not be discouraged when the boat that you are traversing this life in lands on a sandbar and it's not necessarily the land you were looking for. And I'm going to tell you guys this. We're at a point where you can either continue in hope and faith and love, or you can walk down the path of fear, but you cannot do both. So you're in your boat of life and you're traversing these waters, and sometimes it's clear, right? Sunny, gorgeous out, but you're not getting no wind in your sails. So you're gonna have to do a little bit more work, right? Still sunny and gorgeous out. It's a great day. You're still moving forward. You can see very clearly, but you're having to do the physical work. Fantastic. And there are gonna be times when you have a lot of wind in your sails. And it's going to be a little cloudy. You're not really seeing clearly, but you're moving forward. And maybe you're moving a little quicker. You're moving quick. You don't necessarily see where you're going, but you're moving quickly. And guess what? I think I'm basically on the right track, right? I set my GPS. I should be going in the right direction. And then there are going to be storms that come rock you. You're going to get water in your boat. The sails are going to rip. The mast might break, right? And then when it's all said and done and the storm is over and you stop, you realize you got all turned around, right? You're all turned about. You're confused. And that's fine too. Because as you fix everything and get things back in order, you can still be in a state of gratitude that the storm only caused a little bit of damage. It didn't take you out. And even though you got delayed, you can still keep going. You got delayed, but you can still keep going. Isn't that a blessing? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So you're gonna be in the waters. Storms are gonna come. The weather's gonna be clear. The weather's not gonna be clear. Sometimes you're gonna have to do the work. Sometimes the winds are gonna work with you. Sometimes you're gonna get turned around. Sometimes the boat that you're on wasn't the proper boat, and the shit gets absolutely destroyed. And then, because of the grace of the Most High God, you learned that you knew how to swim all the fuck along. There's an airplane going by all of a sudden, and there's help. You find a sandbar, right? So is the sandbar disappointment because it's not land? No, the sandbar is a resting space, knowing that I'm even closer than I've ever been before. Closer than I've ever been before. And I feel like they have me saying this for you guys because you're so close. For many of you, and I'm telling you, I'm seeing it because I'm seeing it manifest around me. I'm looking at the tribe and I'm listening to y'all stories and I'm fucking stoked because I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Because guess what? For every person I see win, that means that I'm just closer to my day too. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. Pay attention, guys. I really need you to pay attention and get in your hearts. Be in your hearts during the season. You cannot go wrong if you're doing things from your heart space because that's where our higher self, our soul resides. Okay? So we have a choice. And I'm hoping that you choose you. I'm hoping that you choose love. I'm hoping that you choose your divinity. I'm hoping that you choose grace. Okay? Whew. All right. Almost 20 minutes in. We've been pulling any cards, y'all. All right. Thank you, angels and guides. I'm going to try to wrap this up. I got to leave soon and get my babies. What do I need to know? What do I need to see? Beautiful angels and guides. What do you want the collective to know at this time? Oh, Kuan Yin also came in earlier. Big energy of just being really compassionate, right? Compassionate with yourself, compassionate with others. Bottom of the deck, Archangel Raphael, communion. So we're all getting together. We're all on the same page, right? This is the soul, but I feel like there's this, like your soul tribe, your soul family is coming through for you right now, right? So this is really getting together with people, like-minded people, right? Your soul tribe, your soul family, and a collective healing. I feel like this is like the gathering of like the light workers as we're doing a healing to the earth. You see all this green energy? It looks to be like green around the planet. See that clearly? Sorry, it looks like there's like a glare on my end. I don't know if it's just me. But it looks like there's a lot of green going on, right, around the planet. Archangel Raphael obviously is the angel that heals. Green is the color of the heart chakra, so there's a healing going on with the heart chakra. But it just looks to me like the Lightworker Collective just getting together and really just doing like a group meditation almost. So meditation and prayer obviously were always going to be good, especially during this time of being grounded. Um, and calling out to your soul tribe, soul family. I feel like some of you, that is part of what's manifesting for you right now is the fact that you're going to be meeting your soul family. You're going to be meeting your soul tribe. You're going to be meeting people of like-mindedness. Yep, look, fucking Archangel Uriel friendship. Here we go. So you guys are going to be meeting your soulmates, your soul tribe, your twin flames, your, sacred unions coming into place. Like a lot of that is happening. A lot of that's happening. A lot of healing, a lot of growth, a lot of illumination, a lot of heart expansion, a lot of togetherness. Makes so much sense with this communion, right? Like being with people that are like-minded. An energy of playfulness is also really important right now. So tapping into your heart, tapping into the youthfulness, remembering to play, remembering to keep things lighthearted, just enjoying the present moment. Again, the choices that you're making, right? Like, choose to have some more fun, choose to be high vibrational, be very intentional with your day, right? Next card, setting the intention, Archangel Sandalphon. So, I love it. Michael Bernard Beckwith said recently, or I don't know recently, but I read was like, we have an intention deficiency like going on, right? Like people are really not setting the intentions on your life. You are the creator of your existence, right? You're the creator of your life. You're the captain of your ship. You're the master manifester. So when we're not being intentional about our days or our choices or the things that we got growing on, then we get to then be extras in someone else's play, right? We get to fulfill their intentions for our role as opposed to fulfilling our own intentions. So, what do you want your life to look like, right? What is this deep, beautiful, intimate friendship about that you're calling in, right? Where's the soul tribe and soul family and the communion that you're getting? Like, set the intentions, get into meditation, get into prayer, really communicate this with the angels. You're being supported now to have all of this come through, and all this water energy is just healing, healing, healing my soul, right? A lot of healing going on. So, this isn't about judging or criticizing yourself. This is about getting with like-minded people, right? People that love you, that see you. This is about setting the intention of knowing that you deserve better. You deserve the best, right? I'm putting it out there. God, you know what? I want a fucking dope ass 4-bedroom home. And yes, I do deserve to be financially abundant. And you know what? I want a harmonious relationship. I'm tired of dating fuckboys. I'm tired of dating these chicks that only use me for money. Put it out there. Make a choice. Choose yourself. Choose self-respect. Choose self-love. Choose self-discipline. Don't judge and criticize yourself. Love yourself into the best version of yourself. Not judging and criticizing myself into the best version of myself. I'm loving myself. I'm seeing in every now moment, in every scenario, the choices that I made, whether I enjoyed those choices or not. And if I made the choices that I feel did not set me on the right path, then I choose to forgive myself, love myself, and give myself grace for not knowing better in that moment. But I know better now, right? So I'm not judging myself. I'm not criticizing myself. I'm taking a look at the choices that I made from a lens of love, and I'm going, huh, cool. Great option, or not so much. You could have did better there. Next time, do better. It's not judgment. That's not criticism. The messages from the divine don't judge us. They don't criticize us. God's never come down here on some, oh, you're less than and you're stupid and look at you now and you deserve that and that's why you got fucking cancer and that's why your kid died and that's why this guy's beating on you and that's why you got raped. Like that is not the words of God. You don't deserve these things, but sometimes we're a vibrational match for that bullshit, and sometimes that's a part of the soul contracts that we called in. Whether we choose to acknowledge that or not. And I know that is a hard conversation to have. Why would anyone choose to be in pain? Why would anyone choose to suffer? Guess what? I love my children so much that I would rather suffer every single day for the rest of my life if I could to avoid any suffering for them. But I know that's not possible. I know that I don't get to take all of their suffering because I'm not serving them if I take all of the things that are going to help their soul to grow. And that's a hard thing to say as a parent. I never want to see anything happen to my children. I never want to see pain. I don't even like them to tell me a fucking story that made them sad and I see tears well up in their eyes. Let alone know that there's just certain things in this life that I cannot protect them from because they have to grow through it. And their path is so much bigger than my emotions as a fucking human mother, right? These are hard conversations to have, but guess what? There is in all of it grace and everything, and everything, and everything. I look, what is the, I had, there's two things I say with everything, every scenario that comes before me, every person I interact with, right? Because God sends us nothing but angels, whether you choose to look at it that way or not, right? But every scenario, I go, what is the lesson and where is the grace? Every scenario. Sexual assault at 4 years old, sexual assaults after that, the abuse, neglect, violence, lies, betrayal, theft. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Where are the lessons and where is the grace? And I promise you, if you're using these energies of these retrogrades to your highest and greatest good, you will start to find way more grace in your life than you ever thought before. And it gives you a much different perspective as to the shit show that we got going on in this 3D reality, right? Because then you realize, huh, this is kind of a whack ass simulation and I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm going to hit the reset button and I'm going to look at life a little bit differently and I'm going to make different choices, right? We all make choices. And I know sometimes we get to the point where we make choices where it doesn't feel like a choice. And I get many people that say that they're like, oh, you know, you didn't have a choice. This is God's will for your plan. Like, no, you made a contract before you got here. And you're like, when I go to Earth, I'm going to do this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. And along the way, I'm going to meet that person, that person, that person. Everybody's like, bet, cool, game on. So then you came down here and started dealing with some fucked up shit and fucked up family and fucked up scenarios. You met a couple of those people that you were supposed to meet along the way, right? And now you're growing through a lot of things. And depending on how you receive those lessons and whether or not, you learn the energy of forgiveness and love and awareness and, acceptance will depend on whether or not you do these lessons again or not. But you have a choice. And I know it doesn't always feel like that. Like, it's like walking down the path, right? You're walking down the path. You can't go back to where you came from. It's not an option. Behind you doesn't exist. You can only move forward. So you have two choices in front of you. You can go to the left, where there's a whole fucking pit of alligators, and you have to get to the other side of that. Or you can go to the right, which is climbing up this mountain, right? Or climbing up this hill. But you're fucking scared to death of heights. The thought of going on the hill, just taking one step, makes your palms sweat. You're sick to your stomach. You're ready to pee yourself. But the only other choice is the alligator pit. You may not like your choices, but you have a choice. You know what I'm saying? That is a part of this world. And sometimes that fucking sucks. But it is what it is. Alright, I'm gonna get some final messages. And I'm out this bitch. I love when I say final messages and they're like, oh no, we're gonna give you a book. Ridiculous. Well, I saw this in the pre-shuffle. Ace of Pentacles, right? Prosperity begins. I love that for you. 3333. I'm seeing on the clock, so thank you, Ascendant Masters. But this is the one that popped out first. Spiritual strength. So again, I know y'all are growing through it. I know you're growing through it. You know how I know y'all are growing through it? Because I'm getting so many messages channeled to me that I'm having to record. I get messages channeled a lot, and a lot of it's personal stuff. This week, it's been like, let's go, let's go. Like, everybody needs a heads up. So you're growing through a lot right now, and I get that. Like I said, when you got to the top of the mountain, you're a much different person than the person that started. And some of you aren't at the top of the mountain, right? Some of you are just starting to go up the hill. You're just realizing that you have to walk up this fucking mountain, and you're like, why and what? And is there another way, right? Some of you have found a really amazing plateau, and you're taking a little snack break, right? You need a moment to just assess everything that you've been through, right? It's been a lot. We've been growing through a lot, especially these past few years. As the divine feminine energy is coming back on this planet, as light codes are being reactivated, as we're healing the toxicity of the masculine energy, as the planet's vibration is raising, as we're switching into the age of Aquarius, and like there's a lot going on. Understandable. And you guys are being really resilient. And I know that it's tough. I get it. What's the lesson? Where's the grace? Right? What's the lesson? Where's the grace? Now, Ace of Pentacles, right? This is financial abundance, this is prosperity, this is like a new job offer, the universe coming in just really blessing us, right? The thing with grace, the thing with grace, how can God pour grace into your hands if they're like this? So many of you are closed off, or like this, or sitting on your hands, right? So many of you are closed off, you're shut down, you're scared, because you're scared, and I get it. I get it, right? Or we're holding on to their life, right? We're holding on to something, we're just holding on because this is all we know, this is all we're familiar with. And so although it's like cutting us, right, and bleeding into our skin, we're still holding on because it's all we know. We're so scared to let go because what's gonna happen on the other side of that? What happens when I let go? This is all I've ever known. All I've ever known is poverty. All I ever known is lack. All I ever known is strength. All I ever known is cancer. All I ever known is being sick. All I ever known is abuse. All I've ever known is being disrespected. You mean that what does life look like if I'm not that? What does life look like if I'm not getting that? What does love look like if it doesn't hurt? Right? What does health look like if I'm in love with myself and I'm not okay with how you're treating me? Right? So you have to open your hands and let go. And this is the energy of surrender. This is the energy of letting go and letting God. This is trusting. This is that blind step on the staircase, knowing that faith is either going to give you another step or you're going to learn how to fly. And this is not an easy thing to embody. And I keep saying that because I want you guys to understand, like, my life was not easy. My life is not easy to this very present now moment. I'm still being faced with challenges. But at the end of the day, I see the end game, and the end game is success. The end game is I'm going to win. The end game is I'm good. And I don't give a fuck about anything or anybody in between me and that. I can't anymore. There was a time where I did. There was a time where I cared, where I gave a fuck. That is not today. And it ain't going to be tomorrow. Because none of that giving a fuck and playing small and catering to people's emotions and allowing people to fucking disrespect you, none of that shit is going to help you win in the end, right? And I hate to say that, but some people don't respect you until you get disrespectful. Like, some people need to understand that I am not the one, or you are not the one. Watch how you fucking talk to me. Stop playing with me like that. Who are you talking to, right? Do you know who I am? Do you know whose I am? And this comes back to you knowing your worth, you knowing your strength, you setting boundaries, you being discerning, you knowing your sovereignty, you knowing your luminosity, and not giving a fuck how somebody else feels about it because they do not know your path. They are not on your path. This is not their soul contract. It's yours. You know what I'm saying? So when you're making these choices, and some of those choices are going to be harsh, these choices that I'm making when I'm saying I don't give a fuck about this, that's not because I don't love humanity. It's because I love myself. I love myself and I respect myself and I honor myself. And in doing so, I'm showing other people how to love, respect, and honor me as well. I care way more about the freaking collective than they do about me. I promise you that. Every day, I'm out here doing this work for the 8 billion that are on the planet and the ones to come with gratitude and love. And I will show up every day and I will keep doing it. God, use me, help me. But I go outside and I deal with some of his children that don't know that we are all sovereign, that we are all divine, that we all have access to the same gifts and talents and wisdom and knowledge and understanding, that they are actually loved and that they deserve way more than they're accepting for themselves. And so they may project some of that bullshit at you. They may try to throw some of that bullshit at you. They may try to hit you with the toxicity. And so you have to be very discerning in your energies. You have to set really strong boundaries, not invoke that energy. Tell everybody to kick fucking rocks, you know? And it's not because I don't love you, but I love myself enough to know that I'm not going to let you disrespect me. And I know that you don't love yourself. And that's sad. And I feel for you, but I'm not going to let you throw me off because you don't love yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta make those decisions. And I hope that you're choosing you. The only one you owe anything to is your own soul. Not any human being. I don't give a fuck what their title is. People love to see that. Oh, my parents and my family. I love my family. I love my ancestors. I love my friend. I love everything. But everybody can kiss my ass if it means that I gotta be hungry, homeless, or without because of your fucking fake ass love. If somebody loves you, would they make you play small? If somebody loves you, are they abusing you? If somebody loves you, are they lying to you? Are they betraying you? Are they talking to you like crazy? Are they trying to make you feel less than? That's not fucking love. And I know a lot of us were raised in those distortions to make it seem like that, but that's what it was, a distortion, a delusion, a falsity. Point blank simple. All right. So we got, no kidding, mental conflict going on, right? That's that energy, judging, criticizing, being in our heads, over analyzing, right? You need to get out of your head and into your heart. This is harvest season. This is what's trying to come in for you, right? New beginnings, new blessings. For some of you, your wishes are being fulfilled. Your dreams are coming true. But you can't talk yourself out of it, and you got to get into your head, right? If you've never done it before, now's a great time to start doing fucking affirmation work. I am great. I am wonderful. I am deserving. I am loved. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am wise. Like, figure it out. The words that speak to you, right? Throat chakra. Speaking your truth. Standing in your truth. Speaking up. Using your voice. Standing in your no. This is what's being healed right now. You have to stand in your truth, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of people are not going to like what the fuck you have to say. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like, how else can you say it? Moving on. Time to move on to bigger and better things. For some of you, you're going to be physically relocating or maybe traveling, right? But this is, you see how there's dark energy all behind him and he's moving, there's light in front of him. It's like we're moving away from that dark, dense density, moving away from judging ourselves, from criticizing ourselves, from doubting ourselves, from living in fear. No, it's time to move on, move forward, step into the light, right? Allow ourselves to be blessed. And oh, look at what you get. Ah! So more again, soul tribe, soul family, sacred unions, twin flames coming together. I'm telling you, I've been feeling it so strong. I did a twin flame reading yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, you should check it out because I'm telling you, so many are coming in together. But you can't get to this space, right, if you're here. You can't be here and then get this. No, no, no. This is heart centered. This is love. This is accountability. This is awareness. This is I'm doing my inner work and you're doing your inner work and I see you and we're on the same page. No one's perfect. We're both still got work to do, but I'm trying. This is the harmonious relationships that we're bringing into our life, right? The balance, the healing. I love that. Again, an energy of moving things forward. Triumph. This is the energy of chariot. So getting to work, moving things forward, things moving quickly. As we move into harvest season and as we get into eclipse season, things are going to be happening like this, right? So much so that you need to be grounded, so much so that you need to be discerning, so much so that you need to be in your heart, right? It is from those spaces that you're making better choices. It's from those spaces that you're making better decisions. So when things start happening really quickly, you're not second guessing yourself. You're already in tune and in touch with your higher self and with your goals, dreams, and desires, right? Because you were very clear about what it is that you wanted to manifest. So now that the universe has things coming at you, you're not thrown off by everything that's going on around you because you're clear. You, again, you know the end game is success. You know where the address is, the GPS. Doesn't matter if there's traffic. It doesn't matter if there's a detour on the road. It doesn't matter if, there's a storm. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all roads lead home, right? That's the energy that we're on. Getting your power back, coming into balance with yourself, right? The healing of the masculine energy. Love this for you. Love this for you. And I love that this beautiful masculine energy is coming up, especially when we have this harmony coming in, right? And this healing of the heart, right? So we got friendship, we got love, we have even here, this setting intention, right? Self-love, self-respect, friendship, being empowered, moving things forward, clearing out the clearing out our head, right? And then bottom of the deck, we have the crown chakra. Again, a lot of downloads and information coming in, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? And expansiveness of the crown chakra. So you're going to be maybe having some really deep dreams. You're going to be having some really harsh conversations with yourself, internally. And there are going to be things that come up that are going to not look so favorable in your lens and in your scope of love. And that's when you bring the energy of love in. That's when you bring the energy of grace in. That's when you bring the energy of forgiveness in. And you go, you know what? I made a mistake and it's all right. It's like a person that's been sober for 20 years and then fucking relapses, right? Yeah, you made a mistake yesterday, but that's not who you are. And now you're going to do better. And tomorrow we're going to start again. Or you're going to start again right now, right? You made a mistake. You're not defined by your mistakes. You made a choice. You know, sometimes those choices aren't great. So now you get to make different choices. Now you get to do better, right? Now you get to look at things a little bit differently. And you get to do so through the lens of love, all right? Anyway, I'm gonna leave this motherfucking here because it's almost an hour. Wow. But I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. All the things. Later, beloveds.